Okay, can everybody hear me? Yes? Great. All right, well, welcome back. Summer seemed to have flown right by, and I'm glad to see so many people came today. And just to introduce myself, I am Stony Lawrence, and I am the current president of CAG, Creative Artists Guild. And we are going to start the meeting off with our Artist of the Month. For those that don't know, anybody that is a juried member can bring in a painting to be entered into the Artist of the Month at each meeting. Piece of art. Thank you, Jim. Since I don't paint either. So, any jury artwork that you have done, you can bring in, and your fellow club members, they will vote on which they think is the best that they like. And then we have Scott, who will be presenting the winner. But the one thing, if you do win, you cannot enter again for the rest of the season. So the person that wins today, they cannot enter next month until, next year, basically.
Except.
All right. And Scott?
This is a hard time for me because I won the thing today. Thanks for your votes. I appreciate that. And the good thing is I can't do it again now.
All right, so he's going to put his artwork up here for everybody to see.
I don't know.
And the winner does receive a nice ribbon, too. So, congratulations, Scott.
Oh, well, normally I work from my own painting, pictures that I take around everywhere. But this one I found online, and I changed some things in that, but it's from Washington, so it was interesting with the color. I like a lot of colors, and it had that and a lot of detail and kind of peaceful. I love it.
It almost looked like John's Packs.
Yeah. What?
It almost looked like John's Packs, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, it does a little bit, yeah.
And is that oil, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the title? The title?
What is the title?
The title is just the channel.
The channel.
Not the channel. The waterway, I called it. I was going to call it a channel, and I just called it the waterway. So. Anyway.
Now, the winner, too, we're going to put his picture of his artwork on the website and also on Facebook. So you will be the main picture for the month.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, I don't sign them until I have a friend of mine that's a photographer, and he does digitals on everything I paint so I can run prints from, and I don't sign them until after I photograph for obvious reasons and that. So anyway, that's why it's not signed yet.
Don't you want your signature to be on the print? Don't you want your signature to be in the print? It's yours.
Yeah, but not until after he's had it photographed. Then he puts it on.
No, but it is good to be like.
She's saying it should be on the print.
Oh, on the
I don't
print.
want your name
Oh,
on the print.
because on prints I mat them, and then I always number them and sign them.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Prints.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Very smart.
that's the way I do it anyway.
We learned
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on. Today's meeting, we're not covering too much, just to brush up on things to come. A lot of our members are still out of town, and so this is one of our lighter meetings. All right, and one of the things that we have coming up, this year we may have 5 juried shows. So we always have our winter luncheon and our spring luncheon, which are a judge show. We are going to be in the Clearwater Library again in January, and that's going to run from January 5th to February 1st. So we're going to have that, and that'll be a judge show. I don't believe we're going to have a reception due to their limitations at the library. They are in the, after April, they are going to be closing down and remodeling the whole library. And they are, yeah, Clearwater Library. And they're actually going to have a gallery that's just dedicated just to art. It's not going to be a hallway, it's just going to be a real gallery. So next year, or the year after, whenever they finish, that'll be nice, we'll get back in there. We also have in the works a show at Francis Wilson Playhouse. And then in March, we are doing the Sterling Art Studios and Gallery show again, which is our New Beginnings. Well, New Beginnings actually is the Clearwater show. We'll figure out the theme for the March show.
When is the Francis Wilson?
Pending. I don't have a
Pending.
date. Yep. Probably going to be in the springtime, but I'm still waiting to hear back. And if anybody has any ideas of other venues where we can show our work, please let me know. We're always looking for other alternatives.
We haven't done it in the Coliseum. Somebody brought that to my attention today. That's an indoor venue. Have we ever done that?
No, but we could look into it.
Maybe Coliseum, yeah.
Pava had that. Pava had really nice show.
Pava did, yeah.
Really nice. So maybe
Okay, we can look into it. All right, and, oh, I see what you're saying.
Indoor tents.
Well, that's another thing. We're always looking for a place to do an indoor show as well. Not just hanging our art, but to, you know, actually sell it too. All right. Now, for the next part, we're going to have Sharon Valdetti come up. Sharon is our head of Art in the Park, and she is going to tell you guys about what's coming up for that.
Okay, as always, we're doing the Art in the Park. There'll be 7 of them this year, and they're usually the second Sunday of the month, but there's 2 exceptions to that. Our first one is going to be October 13th, the second Sunday of the month, and because some of the people are still away, you can still sign up for the October one. You can mail it in, your check, or you can, next meeting, you can pay by check then for that one. Now, the November 3rd, because they have the city Wines the Blues, they have that special, they can't clean it, so we have to take the week before, which is November 3rd, that Sunday. Then it's December 8th, January 12th, February 9th, March 8th, and then in April, that's the one that's going to be different too, and that is because the second Sunday is Easter, and that just wouldn't be a good day for us to try to be having something like that in the park, I think. So we moved it to April 19th.
So it'll be a third.
So it's the third Sunday, that one there. Otherwise, it's the same thing. You have to sign the contract every year. When you want to do Art in the Park, you just come, and we have a paper. You just sign what you're juried in for, and just sign your name, and that you're going to go by the rules and what we have. Other than that, there's nothing new. It's the same things. If you have any questions, I'm sitting back there. Okay.
The November Art in the Park is going to coincide with Art Harvest. So the past 2 years we've had Art in the Park that weekend, and we always get traffic from people thinking that we are Art Harvest. So it's not a bad one to be at. And sometimes the Dunedin Pipe Band is there practicing as well that day, which always draws people. Okay. Now, our jury committee is headed by Sylvia.
Hiding out back there?
And
Sylvia Reader or
Ryder. Yep, Sylvia Ryder. And I know we had some people jurying in today. I'm going to let her explain the process, though. And all this information is also found on our website. If you guys have not been to our website, take one of the business cards in the back. It has the website on it, and that would be, there's a lot of information on there.
Hi, everyone. We do jewelry every month. You can call me or email me from the email on the website and let me know that you want to be jewelried in. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So you can contact me by email or you can call me. And let me know ahead of time you want to be jewelried in. So I've already got 3 scheduled for next month, and I'll probably, it seems like our average is about 8 people. It gets pretty heavy. Each medium that you work in, we need 3 examples. Like if you're in oil, we need 3 samples, and fairly current work that you're doing. 3 watercolors, 3 whatever you're doing, photography. And bring them, they need, if they're framed, they need to be wired and sturdy within the frame. If they're not framed, if you're doing a painting, if it's wrapped, you need to finish the sides of it too. So they're properly finished as if you were in a show, okay? And there's all the different categories are on the website. But basically, just let me know ahead of time and bring them in, I would say, at 11:30. And that gives me and my team time to look at them, evaluate them, write our notes. And I try to let you know, actually. You can always ask me afterwards if everything went okay. I'll tell you at the time, okay? But if I don't talk to you, then I'll send you an email and let you know. So, did I forget anything? Right now, I'm missing a team member which may be out for a while. If anybody is interested in being a member of our jewelry committee, let me know, and we could use you, okay? So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, next up is our treasurer's report, and Alice Anderson is our new treasurer. And then she's also going to tell you about the winter luncheon as well.
Oh yeah, I got both of those on my plate. Okay, everybody, hi. I'm the new treasurer, and I'm new at this, so I'm trying to figure out what I have to divulge here is the most recent information. Of course, we've had a long, hot summer. I'm not going to fill you in on everything that happened through the summer months because not really much happens. It mostly happens during the months that we're here. We have a lot of dues that are paid and workshops that are being paid, so I keep track of all that. So my work is just beginning. But during the summer, we've had a number of office supplies that we've purchased, and we've had the storage. We do have a storage facility that Stoney has updated me on, and we have like a $48 payment for that every month. So we've paid most recently for the August and September of that, $48.15. We had a couple of checks that have dwindled in. We had a payment for advertising for last season to the Tampa Bay Times. We paid for our advertising for the Art in the Park. And I've been told that we have an ad run Friday prior to that weekend of every Art in the Park every month. So we have a variety of charges here that we have. Our balance at the beginning of August 1st was at the total of $3,943. It was almost $4,000. And at this time, with the various deposits and expenses that we have, we're down to $3,122.13 as of today. And that's including, we just paid $400 to this church. They did go up in their amount of how much they're charging for our office, or not office, but rental of this facility. So we had to accommodate them, and we're going to be paying $1,200 a year now for this facility. Wow. So it's going to be 3 installments of $400.
For 5 meetings, yeah.
For 5 meetings, yeah. So that'll be from September through April every month. And then there's 2 months that we don't meet here, which would be your luncheons. And we're off at the Countryside Country Club for our luncheons this year. Which segues me back into the upcoming luncheon for December. We have secured the date of December 10th. It is a Tuesday, the second Tuesday of December, and that's usually when we like to suggest that we have it. It is our December meeting, and there is a juried show for art to be juried in. Yes?
Could you repeat how much
cost for the rental? No.
$1,200 a year. Yeah.
They wanted to charge us 15 something.
Can we find cheaper facility in the area? Can
If
we
you
try?
can, let us know.
Yeah, if you find it.
It would take some investigating. We're open to new suggestions. It is
Right.
called the Creative Artists Guild of Dunedin, so I don't know whether that limits us to meeting in Dunedin, and there's only limited places to go, so.
But the church did give us a little bit of a break.
Yeah, they wanted to go up higher, and Stoney did some fast talking. Some nice negotiating, Stoney. So we always are trying to, try to be very good stewards of the money that we have to spend here, because we don't have a lot. We do have some nice Art in the Park money coming in, and some other ideas of other juried shows that we'll be able to get some new money in. But there's always those expenses, and they seem to go up every year. Okay, so the luncheon, everybody should be marking a date, save the date, for December 10th. And it'll be starting at, I think people start actually coming in around 10 or 10:30 in the morning. It will have a valet, which is one of the wonderful things about the Countryside Country Club, that they offer a valet service that we arrange for. And that way you can have them help you and assist you with your art that you want to bring in and be unloaded right at the door. Otherwise, there's a big parking lot out there, and it would be hard for some to carry it.
We'll start selling tickets
Oh, okay, we're going to start selling tickets next week.
next month.
That's right, next month, because we have the October meeting that we'll be starting. We'll have a sign-up sheet, and you'll be able to purchase your ticket for that and get ready for that. It won't be going up this year. We're very lucky that they have not increased the charges for that. If anybody was here at that show last year, it was a wonderful show.
I will give them details.
Yeah. So we'll give you the details at that next October.
Yes, how much is the luncheon?
It normally was 27, and we believe it will be the same for this coming year. We don't have any feeling of wanting to add any more to that.
And you can bring a guest too.
Yeah, it's open to every artist with one extra guest. If they have a spouse or a friend or sister or somebody they want to bring. So I think that includes everything. The luncheon will have 2 choices, I believe, of the food. Is it 2 or 3? I know we have a fish on there and a chicken and a vegetarian. Yeah, we'll have a full menu by October, but that's generally what we offer. We like to have a couple of nice choices for people. And it's a wonderful affair. Everybody really enjoyed it. I've been to a couple of them already, so. Okay, I think that's it.
Thank you, Alice. And also, for our spring luncheon, if anybody has a venue they'd like to suggest, we are open to other options. This year, the board did decide to just go ahead with the country club for the Christmas luncheon, December luncheon. So, but there's always other options. So, all right. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is our workshops. So, normally in demos, normally at a meeting, we would have, after the business part of the meeting, we would have a demonstration. Today, we are changing it up a little bit, and Jim Throne's going to tell you about that in a couple minutes. Now, I do have all of our demonstrations are filled for the year. I'm going to have that on the calendar that I'm going to send out with the newsletter, so everybody can see what's going to be at each meeting. I can tell you that at the next meeting, Alice is going to be doing pet portraits, how to paint your pet. So that may be pretty interesting. And any medium, all right? And now workshops, we hold our workshops the second Wednesday of each month at the Dunedin Community Center, which is right by the Dunedin Fine Arts Center. We have the space from 6 to 9 p.m. It doesn't mean that the workshops all run for 3 hours. We are looking for, we have 2 spots open. I have a couple artists that are getting back to me. But our first workshop is going to be Jim Melton with watercolor seascapes. And we had a sign-up sheet, but I don't have a lot of information on it. So if you are interested in his workshop, let me know after the meeting, and then we'll get the details to you in the next week or so.
And that's in October?
That's going to be October, yes.
Wednesday?
Wednesday, right. And then also, if you see me after the meeting, you can see if you're interested in a couple of the other ideas we have for workshops, and you wouldn't have to pay anything today, just your interest. Okay. And now, since we are doing the workshops at the community center, it was brought up that maybe we could possibly have a holiday show, sale at the community center for gifts for the holidays. How many of you would be interested in doing an indoor sale like that at Christmas time? Okay.
Depends how much to pay.
It would be very cheap for us.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So that's an idea. I'm meeting with the city or Parks and Rec tomorrow. I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to see what type of dates they have open, if we can do that. And so by next month, I'll have more information on that. But I think it would be a good spot because there's a lot of traffic there. They would help us advertise. And when we did the indoor shows here, it was kind of difficult. It's hard to find. People can't see you from the road. So, and also too, if you guys think of another venue for that, we can do some indoor shows. All right, and next up is going to be our rotating exhibits. And Barb, and is Marge here?
See her. Okay, well, do both.
Okay, you're going to tell them about both. Thank you. Right.
Okay, I'm Barb Conley, and I am the coordinator for Marguerite's, where we display at Marguerite's, which is down on Douglas, just by the library and the stadium. You just turn, if you're heading down, you just turn left at, I think it's 405 Plaza. And it's a 2-month exhibit. We take approximately 8 artists. I ask that you bring plan on hanging 2 paintings, but bring 3 or so because the spaces are kind of iffy as to what will fit in. If you're interested in doing it, I suggest you stop by, have a look at the space available and what it is. Have lunch, it's a great spot for stopping in. And if you are on display there, stop by and check out what's happening. If your painting, because they don't phone and tell me if a painting's been sold until we go there and do the next changeover. So if there's an empty spot, they may fill it with something else because we're not the only artists in there at this point. At any rate, and the sign-up sheet is at the back at the beginning of the meeting. And right now, we've just filled up the October through December 3rd. I will bring the next, I guess to be fair, I should probably wait until the November meeting so that our winter residents will have an opportunity at the December through the next beginning of February. No, the November meeting for the next, the following rotation. We ask that you, if you've been up the 2 months or so before, we've got so many members who don't get a chance to display, don't sign up again for 3-4 months or whatever. If I'm short of people, I will look around and I will find you or put an email out there. So that's we've got. That's that one. 15% is the commission. No glass. It should be wired securely, obviously, and you must be juried in order to display it in any of our functions, anyways. And I ask that you do stick to the designated drop-off time. So it's the first Tuesday of the designated month, and it's 3 o'clock. So that's kind of her lull time between 3 and 3:30. So don't call Marguerite's, call me. If you can't get there, make an arrangement with another artist, make an arrangement with a friend, family member, or push come to shove, give up the spot and give it to somebody else who can make it. So I'm on the members list. I'm Largo Art Barb is my email. Now for MJ's Fashions is our other, Mark Giroux takes care of that one. And that's on a month-to-month basis. It is one artist, and she has a commission of 30%. Again, you should stop by and have a view and see what the spot looks like. That she takes, some larger paintings, and it's usually about, depending on the size of the paintings, 8 or 9. You'll see the hanging. It's a more of an adjustable system, not like Marguerite's. Marguerite's are nails or hangers in the wall that can't be moved. Again, on either one of these venues when you're displaying, I would ask that you have looked at the website and are using the Creative Artists Guild cards when you're displaying under our auspices. It's just a nice thing to have on your painting. Give us a little bit of credit while you're there. Any questions?
What was that second one called?
MJ's Fashions. It's right up here on Main Street. If you go out the parking lot, turn right, the light, turn left, and it's just before the ice cream parlor. And just before you would turn for Sterling Galleries.
Are there size limitations for Marguerite's?
Yeah.
There are only a few spots that will take the larger paintings, beyond yeah, again, this is why I ask, please stop in these places and just have a look around, and you'll understand what I'm saying. When we get 8 artists in with their 2 paintings or whatever, we have to just jockey and try and fit in the spaces. There's a lot of the space is lent to smaller paintings, but there's 1 or 2 spots that we do have. And again, I never know what's coming, so it's just by guess and by golly. So that's why I'm saying bring 2 or 3, or maybe 4, throw them in the back of your car so we can flip around if needed. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Barb. All right. Not much more to cover, but I am going to have Jim Throne come up and speak for a minute about something that we're going to be adding to our meetings. And today's session is going to be a little different because it's going to be in replace of the demo. But here you go.
We're going to try something a little different. How many of you have had your paintings critiqued? How many of you feel that you have thick skins? We're not going to, Jim Mel and I are going to critique some paintings today, but trust me, this is not a good cop, bad cop situation, right? What we're going to try to do is try to take you through what you've accomplished with regard to the painting. What you consider to be your strong points and your weak points. The objective is to teach you how to critique your own work, ultimately, because all of us would like to turn out a painting that could please people to walk past and see your paintings. I mean, just look at the painting that won today, okay? If that was in a gallery with 100 other paintings, you would stop and look at that painting, spend some time looking at it. The question is, what makes that painting so good compared to what you're doing, okay? The question, the things that we look at is, why did you think about doing that painting? What is your focus on the painting? Why did you pick that palette colors, those palette colors? What is your motivation? What's your focus on your painting? What's your composition issue? Are you copying from a photograph? Are you trying to paint your grandson, who's 2 years old, who can't sit for 5 seconds, right? That's what we're going to try to do. Now, the objective here is, again, is not to, we are not in the business of insulting people's art. That's not the objective. The objective is for you to answer for yourself what these questions are. Why are you doing it? What was your objective? Where are you going with it? Are you expecting to sell a painting? Are you expecting to win a prize? Are you expecting to go into a major show? and I talk about major show, I mean having your paintings juried in, first of all, and then have them judged by another person if you do get in juried in. Many of the shows here, if you've ever been to some of the major shows here, I mean, there are people, 1,000 people will enter their painting, and maybe 50 people or 100 people are picked to be judged, have the painting judged. If that's where you're going, then you need to understand what it is you're doing and why that painting stands out from everybody else's. So that's what we're going to try to do today. We have a couple people who have brought stuff to be looked at, to be critiqued, if you want to use that word. But I think Jim and I are agreeing. Maybe if anybody wants to sit in and hear what our comments are with regard to comments on the paintings, you'll hear basically the same kind of routine. What is your objective? What's your focus? Why did you pick that color combination, and so forth? So that's what we're going to do here shortly. We're going to put it set up over here, okay, in this area.
Some people brought them in?
I'm sorry?
Some people brought some in?
Oh yeah, we have people who have brought their stuff in. Anybody wants, if you've got stuff back there that you brought in today and you want us to take a look at, more than willing to do that. So that's what we're doing.
Not too long. All right, and we are going to add that to each meeting, but not such a lot of time. Every meeting, right. Yes?
Will that be at the very end of the meeting?
No, it'll be before the meeting. Well, today it's at the end, but typically it's going to be starting about 11:45. So if you want to get here early, and that's something, because not everybody, needs to sign up for something, needs to, and it's just something more constructive.
There's a lot of shit on it. Because there are some of us that are painters.
Well, it's not for everybody, even.
That's why I'm asking about the time on them.
Oh yeah, it's going to be something that's coinciding with social time, with everybody coming in. Like I said, not everybody's signing up for something. Not everybody is, it's an added benefit, I call it. Yeah, like a one-on-one. All right.
If you can bring just something in for critique, not for the show, the thing, does it have to be framed, or is it just matted?
No, it doesn't have to be finished, or, no.
Okay.
Yep.
Today, they said
It can be an unfinished.
Yeah, it can be unfinished. Yeah, it doesn't have to be finished. It's just something extra for, so for everybody to get some help if they feel stuck. We're planning to do it probably starting about 11:45, and depending on how many people show up, and it'll go until the meeting starts. Okay, and I got just 2 more things. All right, some of you guys have heard